that we could see an estimated 16 plus million people coming into America just in the next couple of years while Biden is president. And if it's allowed to keep being open, maybe even 65 million people plus. So it's scary to think that all of these people are going to be coming in. And the scariest part about it is that these people are not going to be vetted. They're not going to be checked. Their backgrounds are not going to be checked. These people on the left, they claim they're so concerned and worried about COVID, worried enough to beat somebody up at a Bath and Body Works. But at the same time, they want to just allow people to come into the country by the millions, not being checked, not being even tested for COVID that they claim to be so worried about. So I'm going to go over this bill with you guys because it is very concerning. I'll show you right here. The DREAM Act of 2021. This is the Democrats' dream. So we can have more homelessness, more issues than we already have. Okay.
If you look at the U.S. population, it's already 330 million. Because they've been letting people in, like butter, especially if they have a magical degree for being a doctor or something like that, which they can print out and get signed by they can easily forge and make up a degree and then use it internationally. But anyway, so I guess everybody needs to go ahead and take off their masks, because there has been many other countries that never even quarantined, never wore masks, and everybody's fine. I mean, all this shit is so suffocating, I guess. And then, our skies are supposed to be clear. We're supposed to be able to see for miles and miles and miles. But instead, it's always gray, brown, and hazy. You can't see for miles and miles. But our ancient ancestors could see for miles and miles and miles. Yeah. So I guess they're getting let in and they get, money and this, that, and the other. But, at the same time, I've seen here in Michigan, these buses. I live in a rural area, so I see these buses at certain farms that look like government type buses, but they're like school buses, and then they're like white with black tinted windows and shit, and they come out here, and the people are, they look Hispanic, work the fields and stuff, and then they get back on their bus, and then they go wherever and stuff. I'm even surprised to see it in the winter time, because I have, but I see it through the summer, and I'm like, so they're using these immigrants to work everywhere, and where are they keeping the immigrants? In FEMA camps or some sort of place? Now I know some of them, drive to certain places. There's like one of these apple farms and stuff. There'll be a bunch of cars out there, so I guess people drive to that job, and then they might get on a bus and then go around to the different fields. Now that's a possibility, but I don't know, just things are just odd. It seems like they're managed too whenever they do go out into the fields. It's like there's somebody there guarding them, managing them or something, but yeah, America's a melting pot anyway, but it was founded on slaughter. And as far as our country going around with warring with other countries, stealing and killing, stealing their resources, and trying to force contracts on them, trying to force business on them. And if they don't want to sign, bam, we go to war and take it anyway. And then up pops a Taco Bell and fucking KFC and shit, Right after wars, they rebuild the way they want, but they destroy these ancient cities and stuff and different places around these beautiful countries that were fine before we entered them on stuff. I mean, generally, a lot of the countries were fine. I mean, take Libya. Gaddafi was a good leader of that country and stuff. But, you know, all these false flags that the government does, dating way back, it's, okay, you know, like when, take the Oklahoma City bombing, or the, you know, that one building there, they made it to where the person that did that, or whatever they claim that did that, is, you know, committed suicide or whatever in the prison system or whatever. That's not true. And what they do is they use them for operations, to be like, you know, like mercenaries type of, you know what I mean? And, so a lot of those guys are still alive, and that's what they're doing. I mean, like even that young guy from the church shooting in the Carolinas. I mean, these are guys that the government wants to use for special operations, and that's what they do. And, you know, these are like false flags, but initiations at the same time. See how if they can do it or not. Balls enough to do it or whatever, but shit gets deep. But this government is so out of control. I've been saying for years, for 2 elections now, I've been saying there should be video voting, digital, you know, storage on, you know, for everybody's votes and stuff. Nobody can deny it. But also at the same time, there should be video surveillance on government at all times. The people should be watching and voting on every single thing the government does. On anything. They should not be out of control like they are doing what the fuck they're doing. They've turned into such big business that all the government agencies or businesses and organizations providing a service forced up your fucking asses. That's, you know, they're forcing service on you. You got a well, they're going to force you off your fucking well, even if they have to poison it. And what they do is they'll do a quarry. They dug quarries around here and poisoned everybody's fucking wells and put them on either city water or, you know, using cisterns. Okay. Yeah, so they'll do anything to, you know, do stuff like that. Even though, like, this one lady, she wanted to keep her beautiful willow tree in her front yard. But, here comes a county doing whatever work around there. Instead of running their piping shit around things, they wanted to remove her tree. And she's like, no, you're not going to remove my tree. And that tree stood there for years and years. Well, right afterwards, in the next couple weeks, apparently they poisoned it and killed the fucking tree. That's how this government works. You know, all these houses look alike for the most part in different regions of the country, and just all the buildings, all the stores, everything. It's just so, you know, I mean, it's rare to see something unique for the most part. I mean, there's areas, you know, that have a few unique things that, you know, helps you remember where the fuck you're at, because everything looks alike. You know what I mean? It's just, I shouldn't even bought this house. This house disgusts me. It just, they all look alike. And I haven't even done anything too much on the inside or outside of the house. What I've been doing is building a geothermal, and it's starting to turn into a fucking cob house. But, I'll do that, and, you know, there's no law saying I need electricity. There's no this, that, and the other. Nobody's fucked with me directly out here, because I know the laws out here and all this shit. And plus, if you're going to fuck with me, you better fuck with some other ones, because people out here do whatever the fuck they want, for the most part. I mean, there's shit, you wouldn't believe the shit goes on in rural areas. Some Americans, you know, they don't give a fuck. And some Americans, you know, can walk into stores and shit, and nobody will fuck with them and tell them to put on a goddamn mask. I'll tell you that. Because these motherfuckers, you wouldn't want to tell to put on a fucking mask. I promise you that. But it makes you want to take off your mask and join them. Because it's like, okay. Because they, you know, if you're an individual and you walk into a store, they fucking can gang up on you and stuff. It's like that movie Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where they all point, all the ones that are invaded and their bodies are already snatched, they point at the ones that ain't snatched up yet. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be careful out there, you know, and plus I try to make sure certain businesses, especially your smaller businesses, I don't want them to be shut down. So a lot of people just go in and out of the store with the mask on and pull it back off when they're in the store and shit like this. Because a lot of these stores and small businesses are being picked on, okay, and ran out of business and shit like this. Yeah, but there's a lot of people, you know, doing the underground things of it, but, you know, they're being targeted, generally, and it's rather hard, but, I would just say everybody needs to do whatever the fuck they want, because they're letting people in, they're not being tested for the COVID, but if you take a flight in or out of this country, or around this country, basically, you have to fucking have your CV test. Oh, really? But these people can just pile up on in here, no big deal, you know, and don't take a test or nothing. So everything's going back to normal, right? Okay, you know, that's where I'm gonna see it. Fuck this shit. You know, everybody should just not conform to shit. Because this country, you know, the fucking forced service shit wants to tell you one thing and do another. Look over here, no, look over there. Running to and fro all the time, just like them books. And, you know, I've been getting something really weighing on me lately again. I'm going to go ahead and put it in this video since I can get it over with. Is, you know how I'm, like, always, you know, talking about how, you know, like, before the Great Flood, and how the Great Flood was a lie in the sense of they blamed God when man really did it, literally, with the technology and this, that, and the other, and that, you know, how they perverted DNA and everything back then. You gotta figure, if they perverted the DNA back then, and all that, then, they had some major technology, you know what I mean? So it's just, it reminds me, it's just so much, we are in like the times before, right before the flood, totally. But it feels like, okay, take the Ring of Fire. I've been saying this for years and years and years, and I can't even think stuff or put it in my own private fucking videos before it's fucking, and then it seeds out the next day. It's like, or people fucking spying all up in my shit. Anyway, but for years and years, I've known about this and thought about this. It's, you know, been a theory for years and years, and it's totally proven since, you know, Flat Earth and this, that, and the other. But the Ring of Fire is like, if you took the Mid-Atlantic Ridge and cracked that bitch open, that's the Ring of Fire type of deal. What happened. Now, the Mid-Atlantic Ridge is not cracked open. However, if it did, it would cause a great flood again. So I feel these, like, deja vus. You know what I mean? Like these weird, you know, because, you know, that book's a script, as it is. And I don't know. I've been having some weird shit about it, because when I lived in Florida, and then I've met a lot of other people that has lived on the East Coast, because I've traveled the East Coast and all this, but I've met people that have had, and known about people, like online and comments and stuff, they've had nightmares about a big wave, you know, all up and down the East Coast and stuff like this. So, and I've had them too, all the way down to, you know, the after effect of what happens. How, you know, like Florida would be wiped clear into the fucking Gulf, and it'd be like sand and some cement slabs and a couple sticks here and there, you know, how the sand and shit like this, I mean, totally wiped. And just, there's a lot of other people that's had dreams too about being on the coast, like up in one of them hotel buildings or whatever, and the wave is as tall as, it's taller than those hotel buildings like in Daytona or Miami and stuff. They're just, so, I'm not the only one that's had that over the years, and I've seen, you know, but if you took the Mid-Atlantic Ridge and cracked it open, which, you know, the Earth growing and considering they're melting the polar caps, because the other day it was almost 70 degrees, and there's no snow around here. I drive down to Ohio, and there's snow piles in the parking lot still. And it was almost 70 degrees. It's like, what the fuck? But, they're melting north of here. Like, if you go towards the North Pole, and if you try to look at, you know, certain footage or whatever, if you can get some current images, this, that, and the other, go on live cameras and stuff like that, you'll see that a lot of places are very green, more greener than south and stuff like this. So, and every year in the spring, if I just drive, before when I lived closer to the border of Ohio, I could just drive 10 miles south, and then it's like a whole difference in weather and nature. Like, the grass will be greener, the you know, it's warmer and stuff like this. And it's like, because I'd go down there and, you know, go to a park and hang out and stuff. But every time, in the spring, it's always, if I just drive 10 miles south, bam, change in the weather. But yeah, they're melting that, and you know, to try to get to the virgin resources in Antarctica, because no rock unturned, gotta dip their dirty fingers into every fucking thing, you know. Yeah, and plus they are fucking with the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, along with the whole, you know, the continental shelf along the East Coast, because they want to, you know, they're doing gas and oil testing. They're, you know, Trump wanted to put, you know, oil wells all the way around the coastal lines of the whole fucking U.S. So they're out there doing shit, and they're allowed to kill animals and this, that, and the other. So when fish wash up dead, you know, in mass, and or dolphins or whales or any of that shit, so long as you don't put two and two together that they're out there doing the oil exploration and stuff, because it takes a few, you know, a couple days or so to wash up, for them fish to wash to shore. As long as you don't put two and two together, they get away with it. They got documents that say that. I've read them years ago. And it's like, you know, every time I find their shit fucking crimes, okay, who am I gonna fucking tell? They censor me as it is. The government system gets to judge and prosecute itself, along with claiming itself sovereign. You know, I'm not afraid of a bunch of attorneys and judges and all that. I'll fucking knock them all down to their fucking, to a level. And, but the problem is, there's no people's court to judge these motherfuckers, and they're claiming themselves sovereign from their crimes of stealing and killing, and they're committing all these fucked up crimes everywhere, and I keep on finding these truths on, you know, could totally bust them all day long. You know, they're killing up to 2 million animals a year and shit, and then they want to bitch over somebody fucking doing whatever, you know, and stupid shit. I'm just so, yeah, once that wall goes up, it's going to be like, you know, that movie Z, when, yeah, it's going to be people trying to get the fuck out. I've been saying it for years, but man, it's obvious. It's fucking obvious, you know. Think about the Berlin Wall. Think about, you know, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm trying to say, hey, you know, we need to all stand on our own 2 feet and say, fucking enough is enough on this shit. You know, this is your life. This is my life. All we're doing is living our fucking lives for these fucking scamming thieves and killers. We really are. We really are. I could find so many millions of other things to fucking do other than have to fill out goddamn paperwork and stupid shit all the fucking time. Doing shit for what? for these freeloaders that cannot account for trillions of dollars. Now, you send me in there and I'll find those fucking trillions. I know exactly where the shit money went, motherfuckers. You know? They can't account for trillions of dollars before 9 Right a few days before, Condoleezza Rice was talking about that shit and all that, and everybody knew, and they covered it up when they did 9 And, you know, they shouldn't even be in operation. We should have bum rushed them back then, but instead, time went by, and then they came out with the Patriot Act, and nobody fucking did shit. I thought people would rise up and do something. Nope. So everybody's waiting till the last minute on everything. And, you know, fuck that shit. That's what I'm not here for that. I'm not here waiting for the last minute like the Christians, waiting till the last minute like whoever, waiting for the government, all this shit. I'm not doing it. And, if there's a will, there's a way. I'll find a motherfucking way. I'll find a crack in the fucking system here and there, this, that, and the other. Whatever, and I'm fighting back any which way I can, but I cannot call the system to prosecute the system and expect the system to judge the system. Or whatever. All that shit. So I can't sit there and say, yeah, YouTube's committing these crimes and telling everybody one thing and doing another thing. So-and-so's committing, your own government, the government's committing crimes. Who am I going to fucking tell? You know? And everybody's screaming it out left and right. The poor animals are even screaming out, hey, we can't find no clean water anywhere because you let the motherfucking government do whatever the fuck the corporations bullshit pollute everything. We never had to have vehicles this way. We never had to have the power systems this way. None of this shit. Just like they took the nutrients out of food to sell them to you on the side, on the side. That's what it is. Gotta break it down, sell it to you every which fucking way, make your life a living hell. Fuck this shit. My life is not for them. And as far as I'm concerned, they owe each and every one of us big time. They do. They owe each and every one of us so bad. Man, I want to yoke them up by the neck and shake them upside down and shit. Fucking flip them around. Them motherfuckers, tables are going to fucking turn. But the problem is they're setting us up. They're setting us up for war. They're setting us up for this, that, and the other. And the problem is we need to nip their fucking shit in the bud and expose them for who they are and fucking put them on trial. Fucking public hangings and shit. These motherfuckers. I'm telling you, they put this fucking current president, they put him in office on purpose with dementia and all that shit. They put him in there on purpose to, destabilize shit. It was never stable. It was never stable to begin with. We're just being ran by fucking mafia showmen. Anyway, the president and all these politicians are nothing but showmen, speakers of shit that's already pre-planned. They write it out, it's pre-planned. I can find documents all day long. It's pre-planned. They're just showmen speakers with silver tongues and bullshit. And then there's people behind the scenes fucking shit up. Just all lies, lies, lies. And, I just wish I could do some way more videos, like, comedy skits of making fun of them, like how they fucking, because everybody wants to be fucking entertained. So I guess that's why we're being treated like babies, because we constantly have to be entertained. Nobody wants to hear about this shit. They just want to have a good old fucking time during their suffering and live in their suffering and love their slave masters, I guess. And so it's hard to wake some people up, and a lot of people are waking up, granted, but, the other side there, they got fucking control on the masses. Control on the media, basically. I think the masses would have more control if they weren't censored so much. So it's a matter of bypassing that shit, and all the webs are connected, whether it be the dark web, the deep web, the fucking web, the other web, the outer web, the inner web, the secret web, the fucking red web, black web, white web, fucking whatever webs. Because they got a bunch. All that shit. They got different level all through that shit. Develop more as they go. 5G ain't gonna be enough. They've been, it's going on and on and on. Got to put them sprinkles on there on your fucking ice cream cone. You gotta overload it with the fucking, just pound it into the fucking ground with a shit ton of shit. Nuts. Anyway, nuts backwards, stun. Yeah, bling bling here and a bling bling there. Get you running to and fro. Yeah, pay your fee, 5, 4 fums at the customer service. Anyway, I better get going. It's a sunny, beautiful day and the wind stopped blowing. Yesterday was fucking wind hell. Wind hell. Here. Blew everything all around my yard and stuff. And, it's like, god dang, I can't get nothing done. No sooner than I do, the shit gets, I don't know. So I'm just having a time of it. They fuck with me all the time. Little things, big things. Every which way possible, they're trying to keep everybody busy. And distracted and stuff. As if people are bored to where they love to do paperwork. And they love to do stupid shit. Running, that's some fucked up shit. How the government and their fucking stupid ass paperwork over and over again affects people's lives. Think about people that have to go drive, make them file their paperwork and pay their little fee, 5, 4 fums, and let's say get in a wreck on the way home, and then all their whole family's destroyed in the sense of, disrupted and fucking all kinds of shit. It can change your life like that. So, the government with their monkey wrenches in your lives, our lives daily, controlling every little thing. All the houses look alike. All these buildings look alike. Because you're not allowed to do build them otherwise or whatever. You're not allowed. And the slow talking fucking automated systems and their speakers to whatever. They evade questions, everything. It's just fucking on purpose. I'm tired of this treating everybody like babies and shit. But then if you got them acting like babies, I guess it works out for them, right? So, but people are easily to be led. They're always looking to be fucking led. To be parented. It's human nature to be parented and stuff. And that's what these fucking, the few fucking prey on the masses. The masses are easily led, silver tongues, put on a show, entertain, whatever. Silver tongue writings from some bunch of men that are dead and wrote a book and having you run to and fro in there. Go depend on man to fucking interpret it for you. This, that, and the other to get confirmation. This, that, and the other. Don't stand on your own 2 goddamn feet. Whatever you fucking do, they want to service the fucking piss out of you.